Hey guys, this is Tagene Brown-McBean from Money Coaching Services, and today we're going to be talking to you about how credit card balance transfers work. So watch till the end because we have something special for you. All right. So before we get into the details, I'd like you to like, subscribe, hit the notification bell so that you know when we're on. So we are sharing this money tip with you today. Credit card people, listen up, listen up. So you might have a balance on a credit card, right? And you're wondering, what options do you have to help you to pay off some of this interest rate that you have on this credit card? So here is another option for persons with credit cards. So the balance on your card, this is how it works. So the balance on your credit card can be transferred from one bank to another bank's credit card. People. All right, so what that means? That means, say for example, you have a credit card with NCB. And the prime reason of getting a balance transfer is to get a credit card that has a lower interest rate than the one that you currently have, right? So if you have a credit card that is at 51%, it makes no sense transferring that balance to another credit card where the interest rate is higher than the 51%. So the first thing is that it has to get the benefit of this process. It is best to do a balance transfer from a credit card that your credit card, you know what the interest rate is, and the card that you want to transfer it to, you also know what the rate is. And the rate must be lower. So say you have an NCB credit card and your credit card interest rate is 51%. And these are not exact percentages. I'm just giving you a demonstration. So you might think about going to Scotiabank, transferring it to a credit card at Scotiabank, and the interest rate at Scotiabank may be 45%. So that is a 6% difference. You will save 6% in interest. And you understand? When you do the balance transfer. So what is the actual process? All right, so you have your NCB credit card and you're thinking about a balance transfer to a Scotia credit card. So you must take into consideration, do you have a credit card with Scotia presently that you have the available amount on the card to cover it without any problem? All right, so your NCB credit card is 200,000, and you might have a Scotia credit card with a lower limit, and the available with a lower interest rate, and the available balance on your Scotia card is say 300,000. All right, so you can easily transfer the money from your NCB card to the Scotia card because enough money is there to facilitate the 200,000 from the NCB card. Okay, people, this transaction, the balance transfer transaction, comes with a fee. It's not free, right? So this is something you need to take in consideration. However, if you don't have another bank's credit card that is lower than your NCB card, then you will have to apply for a new credit card. So you basically find out which bank has a lower interest rate than your NCB credit card at 51%, and see if you qualify for their credit card, and you need to know if you qualify, will you be able to transfer that 200,000 that you have on the NCB credit card to their credit card without any issues. All right. So what are the advantages of doing a balance transfer? So we're going to discuss the advantages and the disadvantages, right? So for a balance transfer, one of the advantages is lower interest rates. That is the reason why people do these balance transfers. Now, I can recall there was a lady that she was doing a balance transfer, and she has a business. So this is not only for individuals with their personal credit card, business owners. You can also do balance transfers. You can do your balance transfers as well. And the process is the same, right? Advantage, number one advantage is lower rates, lower interest rates, because you're looking for a card that is going to give you a lower interest rate than the one you currently have. So if you have a high balance, so yours might not be 200,000, it might be 500,000 or 700,000. You have a high balance on a high interest rate credit card. That means you're paying a lot in interest, right? And it's a great way to pay down your debt fast by lowering the interest rate. So by you transferring the balance of the high interest rate card to a lower interest rate credit card, you will be lowering your expense of the cost that you're going to pay in interest. All right, and number two is that you can consolidate multiple credit cards with a credit card balance transfer. So the only stipulation is that say you have 3 credit cards, because that's a bit normal-ish. They have 3 credit cards and they come up in total, so to clear the balance, it would come up to about 500,000, right? So you can put all those 3 credit card balance transfer over from NCB to Scotia, right, on one card. So you have 3 cards at NCB that have a higher interest rate than the Scotia one you're going to transfer to, right? So you can total up those 3 cards, and you would need to have a Scotia credit card or another bank's credit card with a lower interest rate on it. And you must qualify for the transfer. All right? The amount must be able to facilitate this 500,000 that you want to transfer to the new credit card. All right. So it's a great way to simplify your payment for your credit card. So instead of you have 3 credit cards over NCB, you would end up with, say, 1 credit card over Scotiabank and paying 1 payment. So you would have 3 different due dates. Some people might have 3 different due dates because they have 3 different cards, even though it's still NCB. But if you set up the billing cycle is different, then the due date is also going to be different. And paying back a 3 different credit cards with different billing cycle, you're going to have 3 different due dates, and it's going to be harder to remember when to pay the card and not attract late payment fee. So consolidate the credit cards into one and do the balance transfer over to another bank. That's number 2 benefit. All right, so number 3, get out of debt faster, right? This is the main reason why persons do a balance transfer. You might be saying, how? Because the balance is still the same. Yeah, the balance is the same, but the interest rate is lower. So from the interest rate is lower, that means whatever money you are paying towards the card is gonna pay off the card faster, right? So if you have a 51% credit card at NCB and you have a 45% credit card at Scotiabank and you're paying the same amount to the 2 cards, then obviously this Scotia one is gonna pay off faster, right? It's not rocket science. It is the actual process. Something simple, something practical. Now, those are some of the advantages. Now, here are some of the disadvantages when you're trying to do a balance transfer. So disadvantage number 1 is this, well, I don't really call it a disadvantage. You have to pay a balance transfer fee. It's a service and you pay a fee. Big deal. But yeah, some people will think about it as a disadvantage. I don't think about it as a disadvantage because normally a balance transfer fee is like a flat fee. It's not like a percentage of how much you're going to transfer, right? It's generally a flat fee. Yeah. So, and it's normally a fee that's probably even less than what you're paying for late payment. So in Jamaica, the balance transfer fees that I've seen persons transfer from Scotiabank to JN. Those are the 2 banks I used to work with. So yeah, the fee is less than $2,000 at the time, right? But it's a flat fee. Flat fee. All right, so number 2 disadvantage. Disadvantage. Oh my God. Yes. Transfer limit. So depending on the bank, now this is what you need to find out. NCB, if you have an NCB card and you're going to transfer it to another bank card, right? With a lower interest rate, the other bank has a lower interest rate. Not only will the amount need to be available on the card for you to do the balance transfer, but you need to find out if there are any limitations that that bank gives. For example, you might have a bank that says, if you're going to do a balance transfer from another bank to our credit card, then you have to have 80% of the balance on your credit card must be available to facilitate the transfer, right? So you have 3 cards and they come up to 500,000 and you're going to transfer it over to Scotiabank and they have a limitation and they say, hey guys, in order to do this balance transfer, you must have 80% of the credit card balance on the Scotia card available. So that 80% must be over the 500,000 that you need. Get it? Got it? Good. So sometimes, so my recommendation personally is that if you're going to do a balance transfer to a new card, whatever amount you're going to transfer, make sure you have as when I say a little extra on the card. Don't do a balance transfer of 500,000 to another 500,000 limit card. Do it to like a 600,000 limit card. So you have some available funds on the card, right? That is my recommendation. Also, just double check with the bank if they have any limitations at all, any restriction as to how much you can get from the card. So say the card you have is, the Scotia card you have is 800,000 limit, and 800,000 is available because you probably just apply for a new card. And you want to transfer the 500,000 NCB credit card balance, then it should be good. But if the amount is too close, like close to the 500,000, before you even do anything, do the homework. Call the bank, ask them how their balance transfer works. Is there any limit, restriction on their card? Let them tell you. And then you'll be able to know that, okay, if I get a new card from Scotiabank, it can't be a card that is 550,000. I need it to have a higher limit. So the number 3 disadvantage you might face when you are trying to get a balance transfer done is that credit requirement. So if you have bad credit, you might not qualify. So this is another thing. So these are things that you need to bear in mind when you're thinking about doing a balance transfer. Let me quickly go over the advantages and disadvantages. Advantage number 1, lower interest rate. That's what you are supposed to look for when you're going to transfer a credit card balance to another bank's credit card. Number 2 advantage, you can consolidate multiple credit card debts. Yep, this will make your process of paying your credit card simpler. One due date, one payment. Easy does it. Number 3, you get out of debt faster because you're now paying a lower interest rate to the credit card. And for the disadvantages, balance transfer fee, that is a must. That has to be paid when you are applying for the balance transfer. Number 2 disadvantage, you might have transfer limits when you're trying to transfer to the new credit card. And number 3 disadvantage, they might have credit requirements, they might do credit checks, and you might not qualify based on bad credit history. So if you are thinking about getting a balance transfer and you have bad credit history, then try to see how best you can work on repairing your credit history. And you can even call the bank and ask them, if I have a bad credit, what are the steps I should take to improve my credit with your bank? Yes, people, sometimes you can just ask and you receive. You don't have to guess. No guessing, no spelling makes your life simpler. All right, so that's what we have to be about balance transfers and how they work. Tell us in the comments if you have ever done a balance transfer before and how was the process? Was it simple, right? I know there was this lady that she did a balance transfer. You can do it, business owners, you can do the balance transfers as well. It's not only for regular individuals, business owners, you can transfer a business credit card balance to another, I think most likely to another business credit card. It makes sense. Yeah, I don't think you can send it to a regular credit card if it's coming from a business credit card. Yeah, the banks normally like things to work in a similar process. So, business credit card balance transfer to another bank's business credit card. And an individual credit card balance transfer to another individual credit card. All right, so before you go, I have something for you. I'm going to share my screen. Share my screen. Yep. So, what we have for you, sign up for our group coaching. Yes, our group coaching is a 4-week live training, right? Budgeting, credit card, loans, debt consolidation, irregular income, and expenses. So join the waiting list. Yes, join the waiting list. So this is Tagene from Money Coaching Services, and visit our website, moneycoachingservices.com. And thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. So you will see right under the video and also the pinned comment, I'm going to leave the link for the free group coaching. 4 weeks, free group coaching. So join the waiting list. I know a lot of persons, you're watching the videos, but you have questions because your situation is slightly different, or you want to know if A, B, and C applies to whatever situation you have, whether it is a credit card or it is your budget. You want to know what is the best way for you to be able to manage your money better. And we will be helping you with that in the free group coaching. 4 weeks. It's going to be for 4 weeks. And it's going to be 1 day out of the week, usually a Saturday or a Sunday. And don't worry, for persons who worship on Saturday, it's going to be like about 6 p.m. if it's on a Saturday. And for Sunday, it's going to be like about 5 p.m. One of those days. All right? So sign up, join the waiting list so that you can speak to me live in our group coaching and ask your questions. Ask your questions, your budgeting questions, your loan questions, your debt consolidation questions. Yeah, we're here to help you. All right, that's it for us today.